Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. It's also just another Mimic Monday, so I have a Mimic for 5th edition now for all of you. Every Just Another Mimic Monday, I reach deep into that box of teeth and produce a homebrew Mimic for all of you for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. They're always pretty horrific and sometimes a little bit silly, and this one has a bit of a silly backstory, but still can really horrify your players, and that is the Skip Mimic. There are 3 things that abandoned mines are supposed to be full of: old tools, loot, and monsters. You were told that the ones just outside of town contained all 3. After all, treasure hunters that went in never came out, but you've yet to figure out why. Sure, you've run across old carcasses, rusted out tools, and the like, but no monsters and no treasure. But maybe your luck is about to turn as a corroded cart rolled into view at the edge of the torchlight. Something had to have pushed it along, but you can't see exactly what that is yet. The party fanned out, moving through the dim light, trying to find out where their adversary was, when suddenly the mine cart rocketed forward, flew off the tracks, grew teeth and eyes that slammed in the wizard, and started spitting rocks at the rogue. Roll for initiative. The first Skip Mimic was fostered by miners who found it as a polyp within the area that they work. They took to this dangerous creature because it was willing to do a day's labor for a little bit of food. It had a strong back, as it were, but it also protected them from the occasional bandit or wandering monster. They came to name it Skip, which is another word for a mining cart, and would bring more and more in their lunches to keep the creature happy and fed and part of the family. It grew to love them just as much in return and settled on the shape of a mining cart. Then the boss and his men came. Skip isn't quite sure why a fight broke out between the boss's men and the workers. It didn't care because it knew whose side it was on. With Skip's help, the miners won the day, and they started taking Skip's spawn and smuggling it into other mines to help with labor negotiations. Thus, Skip's spawn have spread far and wide, but they don't always have the best interest of others at heart. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Skip Mimic statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. A Skip Mimic is a challenge rating 3 medium monstrosity that is neutral. It has an okay number of hit points and a decent armor class. Like any other Mimic, it does have shape changer, adhesive, false appearance, and grappler, but it can only change into a mining cart. In addition, it does have heavy duty, so it's considered one size larger for carrying capacity, pushing, dragging, and lifting as well. It has labyrinthine recall, so it can perfectly recall any path it has traveled, and off the rails, which is a version of charge. Attack-wise, it does have a pseudopod and a bite attack, as one might expect, and in object form, it also does have spit rock, which is a short-range, strength ranged attack it can make. It does have a bonus action of momentum, so as long as it has moved this turn, it can use its bonus action to dash, which enables it to use off the rails because it has to move at least 20 feet, and its speed is only 15. The Skip Mimic could be used in a lot of different scenarios. I'd love to hear how you would use it in your own game down in the show notes below. You can, of course, find it, hundreds of other Mimics, and hundreds more horror-themed monsters, all for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, that are all perfectly free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons role-playing projects that I have, or the horror fiction that I write that does now include Book 2 of Crimson Thread Psychopomps right here, you can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. It's going to be available August 30th. As always, thank you for your time and your attention, and have a wonderful rest of the day.